What's up, guys? SaltEMike here, coming at you with another Star Citizen video, and today's video is inspired by a fan site called ecruel.games. And what that is a site that takes the data mine stats that the Star Citizen community has grabbed and bundle it into this like really beautiful and easy to use package. And what I was using it for was kind of to figure out what the best-in-class components would be on one of my ships. And if you click the thumbnail or saw the title, we're going to be specifically talking about shields today. And the reason why is since 3.6 has come out, shields have changed the way they work pretty drastically. So basically, if one type of shield has some qualities to it, like it's really stealthy, and another shield is really tanky, basically the qualities will average out when you combine them on your ship. And why you would want different qualities, there's really only a couple reasons. Like I stated before, if you want to be really tanky, if you want to have really high regen speed, or if you want to be really stealthy. So we're going to focus on three main stats today: your shield's hit points, your shield's hit point regen, and your shield's EM signature. Now, there's three different sizes of shields currently in the game, sizes 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to start out with size 1. They all have different qualities, and size 1 has the lowest hit points on average. They have relatively good hit point regen, but they do not regen typically until your ship has not taken damage, or your shields have not taken damage for a certain period of time. And then their EM signatures are kind of, I guess, on par for what would be a size 1 component. And we're going to start our first test out with the Aegis Saber. And the reason we're choosing the Saber is because it is the only ship that takes 3 size 1 shields. And why that's important is because we're going to be able to show really drastically how different your shields can act with multiple combinations. And with 3, you get more combinations, obviously, than most ships that have 2 shields. And the test we're going to be starting out with today is the shield regen test. And that is going to be done by having your shields and your ship completely turned off, turn them on at the same time, and we'll see just how quickly each ship regens from 0% shields all the way up to 100% shields. And starting from left to right, we have our first combination of shields, which will be 3 force walls. If I was going to choose a best-in-class shield, it would be the force wall. It has high hit points and relatively good hit point regen. Then in the middle, we're going to bring in a combination of 1 shimmer and 2 force walls. The shimmer being a stealthier shield with more hit point regen than the force walls, but lower overall hit points. And then finally on the right, we're going to have a stealthy combination, which is 1 shimmer and 2 veils. So the stealthy shimmer, as well as the most stealthy shields in the game right now, which are the veils. And they are only found on the Aegis Eclipse, so if you have one, you can take those shields off and place them on any of your size 1 component slot. Now, these have incredibly low hit points and extremely fast hit point regen. The big trade-off of the force walls versus a lot of other shields, at least the stealthy shields, is that you have a post-damage regen delay. So if you take damage with the force walls, they will not begin regenning until you've not taken damage for about 4.5 seconds. Now we're going to go ahead and start today's test. And just a reminder, you're going to be able to see the total number of hit points that these 3 shield combinations have. So you can really see the trade-offs that you're getting here with each combination. And right off the bat, you can see the shields on the right, which are our stealthy shields, are already 50% full. And in the middle, we're getting additional hit point regen from that 1 shimmer 2 force wall combination. And all the way on the left, we're definitely getting some slow regen. The right has finished completely already. The middle just finished, and we're about 75-80% on the 3 force wall combination. And there it goes. It's done. So that is our shield regen test. So you can really see how drastically you can change the way your shields act by choosing different combinations of shields with just that one test. Now we're going to be moving on to another test here, which is just how stealthy our ships become based on the different combinations of shields. And our shield test is performed by having me in an arrow and our 3 friends in a saber with the combination of shields that we just showed you in the shield regen test. Now, King Gear here up at the top of the screen is the guy we're looking for our first combination, which was the 3 force walls. It also happened to be the combination that has the highest EM signature. Now, he quantum travels in, and then almost right away shows up just at around 18 kilometers. So you're really not going to sneak up on anybody on any planets or in space at 18 kilometers. Now, the next combination is Dade Vinci here in the middle of our screen, who has the 1 shimmer and 2 force walls combination. And as you can see, he shows up around 12.5 kilometers there. So a little bit stealthier, but you're not really jumping in right away in weapons range and sneaking up on somebody. So still not really super stealthy. And coming in with our last combination is Pawkilla, who is flying the 1 shimmer, 2 veil stealth ship combination. And he's not on the screen right now. I didn't do a great job doing this test, and I would have redone it, but it is kind of time consuming. Pawkilla happens to be on the left of the screen, so make sure you focus on the radar here to see when he pops in. Now, he probably popped in around 10,000 meters or 10 kilometers. And it's really hard to tell because I wasn't looking directly at him. But the one thing that you can certainly say is there's not a massive difference in stealthiness from the 1 shimmer, 2 force walls, and this extremely stealthy build. Now, the reason that could be is because some of the other components are giving away such a high EM signature that the saber is just going to show up around 10,000 meters no matter what, unless you change those components to make them stealthy as well. So you do see that there is a difference between the force wall and the stealthy ships, and you do see that there's a difference between the 1 shimmer and 2 force walls and the stealth combination. So maybe if you really go full on with stealth, that you can be pretty sneaky. And with that said, we're going to go on to our size 2 shield tests. And before we start testing size 2 shields, I do want to discuss the differences between size 2 and size 1 shields. Size 2 shields have significantly higher hit points and lower regen in comparison, and definitely significant higher EM signatures in most cases. And then jumping right into the test, we're going to be using a Freelancer, and the Freelancer can take 2 size 2 shields. So since you can only put 2, similar to the Saber, you can't really get as much variety in terms of attributes on your shields. But starting from left to right, we're going to be using 2 full stops, which the full stop would probably be the what you consider the best in class. Good hit points, good regen, but its downfall is its EM signature. In the middle, we're going to be using 2 Chamali's, which has the exact same hit points as the full stop. About half its regen, which is like, why would you even use these? But then the EM signature is significantly lower. So we'll see in the stealth test maybe if this is actually worth it. Then finally, all the way on the right, we're going to be using 1 Aspis and 1 full stop. Now the Aspis has significantly higher hit points and its regen is okay. So it'll average out to higher hit points and decent regen, but its power draw, not its EM signature, its power draw is actually a bit higher, and this will come into play during this test. So we're going to go ahead and start the test, and let's see how it goes. Now, starting out right away, you can totally tell that, wow, these things are not regenning anywhere near as fast as the size 1 shields. So we're going to go ahead and speed up the video. until we have something interesting happen. And we can see the 2 full stops here are getting close to finishing, while the Chamalis are just getting halfway, and the 1 Aspis and 1 full stop is getting close. And there we go. Our full stops are done. So not a bad combination there. It seems pretty good to me. Now our 1 Aspis and 1 full stop is starting to finish, but as you could see, we have a warning for system overheating here. I'm trying to adjust it and see if I can stop it from happening, but we just can't avoid it. So this ship actually powered down before its shields can even restart, and we're not even flying the thing. So that's not very good. And then coming up way in last place are the 2 Chamalis, which are just starting to finish up now. So that is our Freelancer test. You guys can make your decisions on it. And then moving right into our stealth test, we're going to go ahead and see when the Freelancers show up. So this will be our 2 full stops test. We have Dave Vinci and the Freelancer here. We're going to see when he shows up. There we go, right at about 28 kilometers. So you're not sneaking up on anybody in the full stops here. Now let's go ahead and see how our Chamalis, which are supposed to be very low signature. So we're going to have to speed up the video here to actually show you when this guy shows up. Not 12, right at about 10 kilometers, he shows up. Now that's pretty significant in terms of a difference in your EM signatures. Obviously, we're not going to show you the 1 Aspis and 1 full stop test because it would require us to change other components on the ship to get to work, and that's too many variables going on there that we don't want to change. So we're going to move right into the Caterpillar test, and that is the size 3 shields. And the difference with size 3 shields from the others is it has a ton of hit points and a ton of hit point regen. Obviously, the signature is going to be pretty high as well. So the point of this that they've said in the patch notes is they want multiple ships needed to take down a ship with size 3 shields. So getting right into the test, we're going to be using a Caterpillar. The Caterpillar, like most ships of its size, take 1 size 3 shield. Now the differences between these shields aren't very great. The Stronghold on the left has a lot of hit points. The 5CA Akura on the right has 20,000 less, basically. And that's a significant difference, but when it comes to regen, where they have the exact same regen rates, you're going to kind of see the difference here. So let's go ahead and start the test. And right away, you're going to notice significantly that the hit point regen is much, much faster on the size 3 ships versus the size 2 shield ships. And I think you can see that the Akura on the right is really regenning very quickly because it's a regen per second, hit point per second modifier, so it's going very fast. We're about 3/4 of the way done on the Strongholds, and I think the reason here is that there's so many hit points. So the only other difference to see is the stealth test. So let's jump into that. So jumping right into it, again, don't need to explain too much. We have King Gear here in the Caterpillar with 1 Stronghold on his ship. So let's see when he shows up. Right about 41 kilometers, 41.5. So you're not really sneaking up on anybody there, right? And then we have King in the Caterpillar with the Akura. Shows up right at about 40 kilometers as well. So there's no major difference here unless you're really thinking about hit point regen on these ships. So the hit point regen could be a major factor if you think you can get away or something like that. I don't know. I would really just probably opt for the Strongholds here, but that's me. So that's going to do it for this video. The reason I made this video was really to kind of give you the tools you needed to figure out which shields you wanted to choose based on what kind of gameplay you planned on playing in Star Citizen. So I hope this video was useful for you guys. Make sure you share it wherever you think it would be useful for others. And as always, make sure you hit a like on the video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, leave a comment and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video.